Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are watching me from. Welcome to my live program known as Know Your Budget. This program is every Monday, 3 p.m. Sorry for those of you who were looking out to watch me, but I could not come out. I'm so sorry, I apologize for that. This program is brought to you by Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria. And today we'll come up with another interesting topic again. Where do you, all these, our senior looters, where do they see all the money that we are giving out to delegates at their primary elections? Today, too, we'll be having a guest. And before we go on, let me bring up my guest for you while he introduces himself. Hello, good morning, Chief Benjamin Obe Owecho. How are you doing?
Good morning. Fine, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much. We are live here, and I think you are not a new person to the studio here. And we're so glad to have you today
Yeah.
again. If you can read my screen, we are talking about delegates versus presidential aspirants. During the primary election, they were giving out big money, dollars to delegates to vote for them after they have used huge amount of money, as much as 100 million, to buy interest and nomination forms to contest for president in Nigeria. So let's take a break. When we come back, we'll take it up from there. Thank you very much and welcome back again. So let's go straight to the point. In May this year, there was primary elections of both the PDP, People Democratic Party, and APC, and as well as other political parties in Nigeria. And we all saw how PDP candidates were giving out millions of hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars to delegates to vote for them. Now, our question here is this. Let's assume you were a former governor of a state, which a former governor of a state, his salary is just about 11,540,896 naira, right? So if you times all this money for 4 years, that is 48 months, it is not up to, when you times $25,000 per 774 local government in Nigeria. But because I learned that one person was represented from each local government, right? So, sir, people, our viewers all over the world, please feel free to send in your comments, your input. What are your thoughts about the topic we are discussing today? So what can you say, Chief Benjamin Obe, that where will you say these people see all this money from? Because remember, if you were a former governor, 11,540,896 naira times 48 months, it is just about 553,963,008 naira. So how do you all get the money that you were giving delegate $25,000, which is equivalent to 10 million in Nigeria? Up to you, Chief Benjamin.
Okay, thank you very much. I think most of these people, they are magicians.
Oh my God.
Maybe they either create the money, because sometimes I wonder where they get their own money from.
Child.
If it is by strength, there are
Yeah.
more people who are within the poor range that have more strength, that will do hard work and get more money.
Yes.
Physically, some of them are not even healthy. Physically, they are not. Medically, they are not. They are out of touch with reality. So it is not by strength, but I think
Yeah.
there are that they do. Now, some of them have been privileged to be in government to steal those kind of money. And it's even you are going too far. The idea of buying a form for 30,
100.
50, for 30, 50 million for governorship, and then president 100 million or thereabout. I
Yes.
believe it's really it's criminal. Those
Yes.
party leaders are supposed to be sued for criminal acts because
Yes.
number one, some of them their salaries for 100 years cannot even give them that kind of money. Though you don't work for 100 years, you work for 30,
5 years.
350, sorry, 35 years or 60 as the case may be. I
Yes.
give you an example of my state, Benue State. We have a reverend father that is coming out for APC, and the reverend father bought a farm for 50 million to contest for governor of Benue State. That means the offerings and the goodwill money collected from the parish all this while is been
Yes.
saving them. And then we know the ethics of the priesthood. So I believe that when some things happen, some people should also think of one or two things. If there are people who actually give him the money to go and contest, certainly they will milk that money when he gets into power. And then you look at the speaker from the PDP buying the form, I think for about 30 million. This money, if you check, where have they been working apart from coming to the House of Assembly and being speaker? And then if you even check where Labour and all this other Accord and the rest, it's quite
Yes.
unfortunate that we are not growing in Nigeria. Rather, we are living for the rich. If you check now, those kind of person, somebody who can cop out 30 million or 6 million, you must have extra by the
Yeah.
side because it's going to prosecute, and that is why this vote buying, you see it coming up on and off within the politics. Those things need to be discouraged completely. And until a law is promulgated to check that nonsense, if not, there are some persons, credible people will not be opportune to be in position. That is why I really appreciate the African Action Congress because
Yes.
the level of getting of the form was brought to the barest minimum. And then not just that alone, the candidates that came up, they are credible. In all levels, they are not looking at the monetary aspect. Not that if they want to make money, they won't get to the money. There are many people who will come in with the money and then want to buy from, but they stayed within the confines of their law or their belief, the belief system. So I believe that what is happening in Nigeria is just a miracle or magical thing. When they call it magic, let me never call it miracle before they attach it to one or two things. But I believe that that's where the EFCC need to ask some people how they got some money or how this money got into their system. Now I move to the presidential. The presidential, you see somebody giving dollars and almost in millions. This millions now in Nigeria is just like 10 naira. And then some, if you check and you do the calculation, some of the expenditure run into billions. For instance, if somebody is given, let's say, $25 for about that 10 million times the 777 times the 3 delegates that came up like either I think in PDP or thereabout, multiply it, that money is hitting to a budget or more than a budget of a state. One person holding the future of a state. And if somebody is spending that kind of money, that means he has more than that kind of money somewhere stashed somewhere.
Yes.
I agree with you. They should know that these people they are candidates. They are supposed to be candidates of this anti-corruption. They are supposed to leave this permanently, or they are supposed to be resuming office with the officers of the EFCC or NCPC and so on. Because they've held political positions before. So what is the NCPC doing when you have this information? This is information that is supposed to be used to go and visit them. Oga, how did you get this money? We want to know. How did you spend this money? How did this thing happen? But you see them working freely, even when they go, it's like they even dash them money. And then you chase the poor man A common man who you just maybe move away with 500,000, 200,000. ICPC will be dragging the person up and down. ESCC will be cutting the person up and down, butchering the person. While you have potential candidates, you have already made candidates for your investigation. You are not investigating. They are not like Dangote, who has his own business that everybody knows in Nigeria that Dangote, if it's not his cement, it's his sugar or flour or salt factory. But this one, they don't have any factory that we know. Or they have shares in oil company. How did they get into that place? They have this. How did they get into that place? So I think the government of General Mohammed Buhari has completely failed us. Some of us stood for him when he came for the first and the second term. But we call with a belief system that he was going to change Nigeria. But some of us need to apologize to Nigeria because we brought a wrong person, like a demon, on top of them. Sure. So I believe that what is happening in Nigeria is organized crime. Organized crime. This is more organized crime. And I believe that people are doing it and getting away with it.
Exactly.
Let me tell you one thing. Your level of intelligence, your level of education, those people, if you check even their children combined, they can't get up to you. God is punishing them in the one way or the other. Check their children. And then when you check the age at which they are now, I believe that, let me make Saraki as an example. The senior Saraki, the father of the Saraki, when he gets to a point after his first republic or whatever republic, he now started featuring people and then later his own children. Why is it that these people that we have now, they are still recycling within the age of 70, 80, some even using affidavits for their age? These affidavits, some of them are using now. They don't know their real age. They butcher it. Today they are 71. Tomorrow they are 60 something. Even when their children are also 69, they are 71. Oh. So they get that at 2 years. So from that place already, you know that they are also fraud. They are fraud. So their age cannot be ascertained. You know, there are some persons when they were given birth, the parents, they are illiterate. They really don't have records of their birth. But let me tell you.
Chief Benjamin, are you there? Okay, it seems Chief Benjamin is having some technical
issue. Their language. I was explaining. And then give a scenario of what happened immediately after the war. So I know when I was born. But their own, they don't know at all when they were born. So they were already a fraud from birth. They are already fraud from their date of birth. They are already fraud from their belief system and how they manifest it. So why would they get better? I want to tell the whole Nigerians that, honestly, without fear or favor, that those money they acquire, they are criminally acquired because check their track record. They don't have any reason to harbor that kind of money. And secondly, assuming they have that kind of money, they are all from constituencies. They are all from villages. If you go to some of their villages, there are no roads. What have they done in their roads? If I have 30 million and somebody says I should go and buy form to contest the election, even though I know I will not. I will just even find a way in Ukpa Ojira to go and think about who. I'll go and think about who there, or I'll go and do what will benefit people because I know so many persons need those services. So they don't have the passion for the people. And that is why we sympathize with those following them, because they follow without knowing. Like Jesus says, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. Some of them are hypnotized. Some of them their brains are drained. Some of them, their futures are being compromised. But I want to let you know that in Nigeria, it's only in Nigeria those things can happen. It used to happen in Ghana. It used to happen in some of these countries too. But I believe that when they get it right, they get it right. But in Nigeria, well, I want to appreciate the electoral law. The electoral law, anytime when it comes out, it sends panic to those people. But they always find a way around it. I give you an example of Oshun and Ekiti election that was just said. I think Oshun and Ekiti. You see that the electoral law was tested in those places. Yeah, somehow it worked in Oshun. That's even the PDP that won too. They were also sharing money. So it was
Yes.
money versus money. That means if you don't have money, you cannot contest or be something in Nigeria again. So
Yeah.
Nigeria is being the money bag this thing. In Benue too, where I came from, you will see that everything, where are they all in court? The APC, the PDP, and every other party, they are in court. It is
Yes.
because the belief system is that the person going want to bring somebody that will not probe him or her, but they
Mm.
have forgotten that that thing doesn't have assurance. After 1 2 months, you will always clash because you think they protect your interest. You will clash. It has
Yes.
been happening from the, according to our president, from top to bottom. It
Yes.
has been happening. It's not a new thing. So I
No.
believe that a good leader, if you are leading, you should leave a legacy behind. If you can't, if you can't help the youth, if you can't help the children of Nigeria, please don't destroy them. There is
Thank
so
you.
much money in circulation. There is so much money that has been stolen and kept aside, waiting for election. Keep people very perpetually hungry. And now schools have opened. Some children are not in school. So some persons now they will go and be begging them for school fees and other things. And then
Mm.
from there you discover that they will use them, give them money. They make you lie down and appreciate them. You go to their houses, stay at the gate for 2 3 4 hours. They will come out. They are going out for the meeting. They just give you 5,000, go and come, or 2,000, go and come. You feel some sense of entitlement. I believe that this is the dehumanized people, and within the dehumanization, they also they have raped the country, turned the country into pieces by stealing enough money kept in their bag and then ready to execute it. But what will shock them by the grace of God is that the people are getting more enlightened. And as they
Yes.
get more enlightened, the election may not be as they think it
What
will be.
what they
God,
think? Yeah.
God will surprise them. So
I agree with
I don't,
you.
I don't think that the people coming out, if Dangote is coming out and he has that kind of money, as a businessman who struggled through thick and thin to get his money, honestly, Dangote will not spend that kind of money to give people.
Yes.
But because of the way the money came, it was a bit easier for them to spend it for that purpose. And
Mm.
then
Mm.
Bola Asuwaju Tinubu, the level of money that role for his primary. The same thing with our own Atiku Abubakar too.
Mm.
That one every year he's always contesting. He will come from Dubai and come. Somebody who flies from Dubai with private jet who wants to be a president of Nigeria. It's quite
Mm.
unfortunate that Nigeria we need to shine our eyes. We need to open our eyes and see the reality of what is happening to us. I think
Yeah.
that's what I think is happening. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your input. You have really hit the points that if Nigerians that have ears, let them hear. Right. So, while you were talking, a
Yeah.
question just come to my mind. I derive a question from all the answers you've been giving. So now, these people that brought huge amount of money, some come with bullion vans, some Ghana must goes with thousands of dollars in their bags. Were given out to delegate. This was just for primary elections. We've not come for a general elections. Now, the money these people are preparing to spend, because when you are contesting for president, we have 33, 36 states in Nigeria, and you have to visit all of them to campaign in the various states so that the people get to meet with you, ask you questions. It's just very unfortunate that in Nigeria they don't give room for that. Even if they give you room for to ask them questions, once you ask one question, they will just send DSS to come and answer you. You know, so all of this money gathered together that you are going to use for general elections, coupling with the one you have used for primary elections. What is now your faith and the faith of Nigerians for you to first of all recover your money that you spent during the primaries, to recover the one you are spending this on general elections, And then what will now be the fate of Nigerians as of what you are going to do as a president of this country? You know, I don't actually know whether I am the only person that is bothered about all these questions I'm answering. If a presidential candidate is spending this kind of money, my concern here is you have 4 years, 48 months to leave the office. How do you now intend to recover all the money? Let's assume you borrowed them. Let's assume it is a looted money. Let's assume. But when you looted that money, you actually needed it. That was why you looted. And definitely you're going to recover it when you come into the office. So how long do you intend to recover this money? Or what means are they intending to recover this money before they will now look out for the problems of Nigeria? Sir, I don't know whether these questions are also bothering you, but you can be as fast as possible since our time is fast approaching.
Okay. Thank you. I believe that this period in question is not even enough for them to recover the money. Because number one, they need to service all the other people that they have used to work for the election. They have to take time to settle down. They have to take time to do before you know this time will do. But they are forgetting that this life we are living is God that has it.
Yes,
when they get into this power, they will have to service it. If you have a thug, you need to service this thug. If you have all these things, you must service them. So when they get to power, whichever way they get to power, if it is money, you must service that money. Some of the money, like now we're going into a general election, and some of them will spend even more than the budget of Nigeria.
Exactly.
And one human being will stand up and say it's richer than Nigeria. Yes, some of them stole enough money that is even more than the budget of Nigeria.
Exactly.
But how has it been with them? How has it been with them? They've stole this money while they were in government. These are people that have been in government all this while they are recycling in one way or the other. And yet they still come in and they still go. But you see, when they leave government, they live like peasants. Look at their children. God has a way of punishing them too. Some of their children, if they are not in the fight or they are invalid, they don't even come out in public places anymore because they take them out to school abroad. They will turn to drug dealers. They smoke in their hand. They smoke every kind of drug. So when you take the money for the people for the wrong reason, you get the punishment the other way. But I believe that we should be living for our children. Whatever I need to do today, first of all, I need to think of my son. When if I think of them, I need to think of how I'm going to live with this whole sky world. So if they build the world better for other people's children, their own children will enjoy. If you allow this one, other people's children on the streets to turn to armed robbers or turn to bandits, it is your children that you are taking abroad to go and study. When they come back, they will attack them. So the greatest investment is to invest on other people's children. You improve the public schools, you improve every other thing, so that they also have the basic education. Also, it's on strike, but their own children, they are not on strike. They are in abroad schooling. Their own school is going on, so they don't bloody care.
No, yeah,
they don't bloody care.
You're right.
So when they do this kind of system, they are invoking costs on themselves because they'll bring their children now to come and head because they study abroad to come and head all the companies they have kept for them and everything. But at the end of the day, they must move with 2 or 3 mobile police or army. They move with a battalion of security. Why do you put a child into that kind of danger where he cannot be free to express his knowledge or anything with the common people? So I believe that what the government is supposed to do, they should leave this stealing of this money. They should leave this fight or quest to be what they want to be, to think about the common man and then the children on the street. Those ones who sell bananas during school hours. Now school have resumed. But when you go to the road, you see children selling granules. They are the age of our children. But because some of their future, the money that is for their future have been stolen by one human idiot. And then the person is dragging and using it for election and then piling it to use it for general election. How he will unleash terror on people, kill people, maim people, destroy people's career, and then they'll come out and open, I won the election, and then they will feel big. But I know, I think by the grace of God, the judiciary too will come up. They will need to take some vital decisions to save this country from total collapse. Because I want to say that those people who have stolen this money and then spending this money like magicians, if they come into this power again, I fear for Nigeria. Nigeria may become an endangered country where they may go out of extinction any moment. We may just, because we are already living on borrowed this thing, like in my state, I keep saying it, we are on borrowed life.
Yes.
Life. Anybody from Benue State that is surviving, the person is trying. Especially the pensioners and the civil servants, they are trying to survive. God will bless them. God will increase them. God that has kept them will keep keeping them, because the situation at which they are, some of them have literally turned to beggars. It's not only in Benue, but in most of the states. There are other states, I keep saying, that are doing well. They take good care of their staff.
Yeah.
But there are some that their own kind of stealing and looting is so endemic that if not carefully done, it's going to affect the existence of the state. You see a state, somebody is not paying salary, he will come on air and be making us and be talking. He's supposed to hide his head in shame. So the same thing with the country. Those people coming out, I think Buhari has a lot to do before he goes. He knows the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Thank you so
much.
Let
him do the right thing for the first thing. We have the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let us look at the good and then take the good out of the ugly and the bad. Even the ones that are coming up, I see some of them as the ugly, not even the bad yet. So it's not dangerous to bring in somebody who is the ugly. But all those who are spending money, I believe that those money have passed through. So either they are doing money rituals, or they are plucking money from trees in their house, or better still, they have looted a state or an establishment of government. Or they have people, they set a conduit pipe where money will be draining directly to their account. So I believe that the EFCC, the ICPC, and all the financial crime bodies, they are supposed to have, they have already made candidates. They need to put their torchlight and ask them some questions. Even if they don't want to be aggressive, they should be modest. Because as they are arresting them to that place, the same police or whoever will escort them back to their house. That's what we are facing, and may God help us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Chief Benjamin Wicho. Chief Benjamin have said it all. It is time Nigerians wising up. The people that have been ruling us since 1999 are not supposed to be on the seat this 2022-23. Get it right and have peace. You will say, yes, this person was not given opportunity at that time, but he was part of the system that brought us to where we are today. So, to me, Nigerians need to wake up, wisen up, go get your PVC. Doing your PVC alone is not enough. Go and collect it. Go and collect it so that we change this thing once and for all. Look, if we don't get it right this time around, we are finished. We are finished. Nigerian is, like Owecho will say, is it on life support or in coma?
Yeah, Nigeria is on life support.
You see, so the people that have been looting you for many years, using the money to give you as delegate to go vote for them, and they still want to use that same money they loot from you to win general election. Use your mouth now. You that are watching me, say it's very impossible. We will not allow it to happen this time around. And before I go, let me play a video for you, Shapali.
Invitation. Principals and proprietors of public and secondary schools in Nigeria are hereby invited to register 2 of their students for the first national quiz competition on the Nigerian Constitution for secondary schools in Nigeria. Commencement date 1st October 2022. Deadline for registration 15th August 2022. Registration fee free. Venue virtual. Prizes to be won by the 6 best schools include millions of naira, laptops, copies of the Nigerian Constitution, and lots more. Please request a free application form by sending an email to write.gcsdn@gmail.com or gcsdn@gcsdn.org. You cannot stand for your rights if you don't know your rights.
This project is powered by the Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria, GCSDN, and the Rescue Me Now Data and Media Limited.
Signed, Dr. Edmond Iken, Project Administrator.
Thank you very much. Before I go, I want to tell you GCSDN is organizing a quiz competition in Abuja in October. The jingle was already out before we extended the date. Registration is still going on. You can send us email at knowyourrights.gcsdn.com@gmail.com, and you can send us email on gcsdn@gcsdn@gmail.com, and a form will be sent to you. It's free, and first quiz competition in Nigeria. But whosoever won the first position goes on with millions of naira and other prizes to be won. Please contact your alma maters, your schools, the primary school, secondary school around you. Let them come register and come for this competition, and they will not regret coming here. We will be back here again next week, Monday, 3 p.m. Nigerian time. Please, we apologize for this Monday. And Chief Benjamin Owechu, I really appreciate you for coming. I say, may the good Lord bless you as you always come up here to make meaningful inputs that Nigerians that have ears will hear and take something home for them. And we're praying that 2020 election will be different, and God in his infinite mercy will remove those that want this country collapse. Thank you very much. And I say bye-bye to all of you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.